What's going on, everyone? My name is Isaiah Catfish99. I'm a man of many talents, and one of them is reading your fanfic. And today, we're gonna be reading chapter 5 of my friend TSN's fic called A Promise. And you know what? If you've been on this channel, you've known I read parts 1 through 4. I did read this before, but the audio was really bad and poppy and crackling for some reason. So this is gonna be a re-recording. This is like what I want to say. This is a couple days since I've read that, so it's not completely still in my head. It's not fresh in my head. So this is gonna be so it's more authentic in my reading of it. I don't remember much. I do remember I got called out. And I will have words for you after that. Yeah, so this is A Promise. And chapter 5, titled Home. Alright, so, you know how this goes. Things are not the same in Konoha anymore. Home is where people keep thinking about you. And Sasuke found that not only Naruto kept him in his thoughts while being away, did Naruto manage to keep his promise? This is the last chapter, and I think it's the longest one so far. It's necessary for me to make some issues within the village and to rectify certain unnecessary death, because I'm grateful for everyone who's read this fic, and it's my first one, and I appreciate all the support as always. I hope you enjoyed this chapter. Naruto woke up with the sound of chirping birds in the background. Now I have to add chirping birds in the background. Chirping birds in the background as the soft morning sunbeams invaded his room, giving the feeling of a new and hopeful beginning. Sasuke's face was still buried on the side of his neck, and his hand was in the same spot it was last night. Okay, you know what? I have the figures, so hold on. I'm going to do my... Oh my gosh, she's gonna fire me. She's gonna fucking fire me. Low-key, I might have to get a new Naruto, because his head, it comes off without any hesitation. Like, no, the ball, the peg thing for it, it's too loose. It's way too loose. Sasuke's hair had such a pleasant scent, and it wasn't shampoo that he used because it was Naruto's, and he could have recognized it. It was just him. He's just built like that. Motherfucker's just built perfect. He wanted to absorb all the smell, all the scent, and didn't want to disturb Sasuke's serene sleep with the movement of his chest. So he took light breaths in, enjoying each and every volatile molecule released from Sasuke's body. Sasuke wasn't asleep. He wanted to squeeze the back of Naruto's neck with his hand, but didn't want to wake him up. He was just as sneaky. He started putting gentle pressure on his index finger onto Naruto's skin, slowly moving to the next one until his whole palm felt even closer. It could have went unnoticed if Naruto wasn't awake, but he was fully aware and felt every pressure point. It was as if Sasuke was pressing buttons that activated all sorts of reactions in his body. The muscle around his knee felt loose. That sounds painful. Muscle around his knees felt loose. The arm he had on Sasuke was pressing button. What? The arm he had on top of Sasuke's back was itching to press him closer. He lost a sense of his own body weight, and he could almost feel like he was lifting up from his bed. It was an unavoidable tingling feeling that took over his nether regions. He got embarrassed that Sasuke might start to feel poking around his pelvis. Elvis is the pelvis. Elvis is pelvis. My pelvis. My name's Elvis. Look at my fucking pelvis. But he realized that Sasuke's body was having a similar reaction. Whoa. Pelvis on pelvis. They both could feel something pushing more and more, which made their organs response even stronger. Organs response. Pulsing rapidly like a heartbeat, turning almost into a stinging pain. Jesus Christ, you guys are ready to go. Feeling extremely awkward and exposed, trying to act completely unaware, as if nothing happened, Naruto stretched his arm. Sasuke, you still sleeping? His stomach made a noise at the perfect time. I'm getting hungry. And he thought he was so sleek with it. Slick. Slick. It's slick. I'm gonna get on her ass every time she does a grammar mistake. English is not her first language. And I'm taking advantage of it. Sasuke mumbled. It was hard to cover the embarrassment in his voice. I'll wake up. The tension wasn't as strong anymore. Profiting off that liberation, Naruto rapidly squeezed Sasuke into his chest and brushed his face into his hair. What? Brushed his face into his hair or brushed his hair into his face? Or his hair brushes his hair away from his face or off of his face? Making a sound similar to purring. I can't do it. I can't do it. What the? Oh, that's what that button was. Sorry, it's my vacuum thing. Handy dandy, handy vacuum, Sandy. What? Making sounds similar, Sasuke was also free to clench his hand as strong as he wanted into the back of Naruto's neck and to press his face into his chest. They lazily cuddled, brushing off the sexual tensiones, acting like two snuggly cats that leaned back into an embrace after a good stretch. But Naruto's stomach was rebellious. It loudly demanded attention with furious noises. They both laughed at their sons. Now that I come to think of it, Sasuke regained confidence in his voice. Maybe it was your stomach who controlled all your actions when we were kids. You were always stubborn and stupid before you had a meal. You're just trying to be mean. Naruto leaned into the teasing. Are you trying to distract me from the fact that you're such a cuddly cat? That's a line. That's a line. That's a line that I'm calling you out. That's a line. That you're such a cuddly cat? I don't like that line. I don't like that line. That's the only critique. That is genuinely, I think, my only critique that I had is I didn't like that line. Naruto, well, not trying to hide his vulnerability anymore, Sasuke strongly pressed his forehead into Naruto's chest and gripped his calf with his toes. That is such a specific, such a specific position. Okay. Hey guys. Hey, so is this a new day? It is a new day. Let me tell you what happened though. I got distracted when I paused and then I forgot to record and then it became hours by and then I was just like, you know what? We're gonna hit this up another day. Not trying to hide his vulnerability anymore. Sasuke strongly pressed his forehead into Naruto's chest and gripped his calf with his... Oh, I tried to recreate that with the figures, but my Naruto's head is like ridiculously loose. I gotta get a new one. Which is fine. I've been wanting to get a new one anyway. I want to get the other one that's more manga accurate. And they're cheap, so it's fine. Naruto not trying to hide his vulnerability anymore. Sasuke strongly presses his forehead to Naruto's chest and grips his calf with his toes, which sounds painful. You got me. But before letting Naruto win, he added, I know your stomach wasn't making you act like that. You're stubborn and stupid the whole time. Naruto playfully bit Sasuke's head while making a pretend growling noise and continued. You. You. He growled again, incapable to find the words to describe his feelings. You asshole. He let those words out and started placing a continuous short kiss onto Sasuke's head and mimicked frustration. Then he turned his body to the right, placing Sasuke on his side of his bed. With that movement, let's see if you're still as frisky when you're face to face. Naruto knew Sasuke so well. He found his face all flustered and incapable to continue the flirtatious teasing. I got you good this time. Naruto threw himself at Sasuke and kissed him passionately. Now you're the stupid one here. I win. After hearing Naruto insulting him, Sasuke returned the kiss and he said, both pretty stupid. It's a tie again. The competitive atmosphere. I made homemade mac and cheese and it tastes fucking amazing. And I want to get another bowl. Anyway. On a pan, on a stovetop. No oven. Because my oven broke. And I'm too lazy to get that fixed. Or request to get it fixed. That's how I learned how to do everything that I wanted to do on the oven, pretty much on the stovetop. Yeah, I'm really cool like that. The competitive atmosphere was lifted. He was also, and so was the flirting. Naruto felt the need to make sure that Sasuke was still comfortable, so he started talking with a serious tone, looking directly in Sasuke's eyes while both of them were laying their heads onto the pillows that pushed them closer the night prior. Sasuke, do you feel awkward right now? His anxiety made him say the next words a little faster. It's okay. You're not feeling comfortable anymore. I don't want to be pushy or make you feel exposed or anything. You know, you can tell me. And if you don't want to tell me, if you're too embarrassed, then that's completely fine. You just punch me. It's fine. Listen. I'll get the message. You know, you just don't have to accept it if you're not feeling good about it. I'm scared I might push you away, and if I don't give you enough space, and I might misinterpret the things you say, you know, and I don't want to do all that. He finally stopped talking by Sasuke's hand that was suddenly placed on his mouth. This is the only way to make you shut up. Or maybe there's another way, but I need my mouth to talk right now. Sasuke spoke calmly and tenderly. You didn't cross any boundaries here. Don't worry. It's true that I'm not used to acting this way. What? I'm not used to acting. This fly is flying around, and I hate it. And if I could find you, Fly, I would kill you and your family. Where am I at? Fly Rage. Damn, this Minecraft music is loud as a bitch in my ear. Alright, I love you too, Minecraft. I'm not used to acting this way to show affection, but I've come to realize that I actually enjoy being vulnerable sometimes, and with you, that comes quite easy. Knowing that Naruto won't ramble anymore, he freed his mouth and started to brush his hair with his hand, following the movement with his gaze. Avoiding Naruto's intensely engaged eyes. You were always acting so stupid, and it was hard to accept it, but I love that. I always did. It makes me feel so drawn to you. It's so natural to interact with you because of that. I know you're an intense person, but it seemed like you weren't taking things seriously. You just created this You just created this light-hearted atmosphere that enables others to be themselves and to show their own insecurities and feelings. It was really hard for me to connect to others, and everyone had their eyes on me, and I was afraid of how they would interpret my actions, my words, but one day, you said, where am I at? Sorry. I got a text from the author. She's probably gonna fire me. I'm going to lose my Medicare and Medicaid due to this, outside of what Trump is doing to fuck us over. My children are gonna die a lonely death. It was really hard for me to connect to others, and everyone had their eyes on me. I was afraid of how they would interpret my actions, but one day, you said a word without much of the meaning. You called me a Surtankachi. It felt good being perceived as someone not being so serious. Wait, something not so serious and not pretentious. It felt like a family. What? It felt like finally a real human was talking to me, seeing me for what I was, a useless tool. Because even if I was great in the academy, I was always feeling behind. I knew you were feeling just as useless. So I tried to give you back that reassurance that we're both feeling the same way about ourselves by borrowing from you the word that made me feel seen. I understand the fear that you have now, and I ran away from you so many times. Even last night, I had the instinct to do such a thing. But I don't want to go anywhere. I learned many things in the past 7 months, and I'm not prepared to overcome my fear now. And yes, I do feel exposed. He finally moved his gaze from Naruto's, but you can't remove the gaze from Naruto and Sasuke. But I'm not running away from uncomfortable feelings anymore. Naruto sighed. And without saying a word, he kissed Sasuke's forehead and wrapped his left arm around his head. And then softly whispered, just a simple, "Thank you." They decided to go out for breakfast. I don't know what accent that was. Decided to go out for breakfast. Oh, you know what? I mixed the, there's this funny thing that me and my friend watched. It's an old, horribly low budget, probably a money laundering scheme Christmas movie that's like called, I don't know what the fuck it's called, but it has a funny grandma. It's just a terribly animated black woman saying, "Christmas." They decided to go for breakfast because there wasn't much food in Naruto's fridge. Sasuke was feeling a bit anxious to be back at Konoha, but he prepared himself, you know, to face that sensation. Sasuke told him that the village will be different, but he couldn't notice any changes around him. Did he expect me to be away for longer? On their way to Ichiraku, a little girl stopped them while they were walking hand in hand, and her mother... a little girl was walking hand in hand with her mother and shouted loudly, "Mommy, look! It's that Sasuke Uchiha!" Sasuke felt his legs trembling and getting weaker as he felt a rage raising up into his head and had an itch to run away. I'm gonna let you make it this time. Had an itch to run and hide. But Naruto was right there, next to him, so he stood still. "Kyo, it's not polite to shout like that." The little girl's mother greatly scolded her. She slapped her. As they were, oh, there's this fly. I got nothing for you right now, so you can live. But you live by my behest, or something like that. Where am I at? Back in Kone, prepared to face the sensation of Kakashi telling him to be different. Huh? Kyo, it's not polite to shout. The little girl's mother gently scolded her as they were approaching Sasuke and Naruto. "Please excuse my daughter for that. She admires you a lot and she gets too excited and forgets her manners." She spoke directly to Sasuke while bowing to show her admiration, almost ignoring Naruto's presence. Sasuke was relieved to know that at least the younglings don't hate him. "No worries," he replied with a neutral expression. "We are really grateful for you saving our lives." I feel like they wouldn't say it that boldly. I feel like they'd be like, I would like to thank you for your service, or would like to thank you for your efforts in the war, or something like that. Save her life, she said that to both of them, and then looked again only at Sasuke. "We're deeply sorry for what happened to your family. After learning the truth about your brother, we're repenting for the judgment we had in the past towards your clan." She bowed again to express her deep regret, and then walked away with her daughter. Sasuke was stunned. How does she know about Itachi? Did he hear that motherfucker correctly? Anticipating Sasuke's feelings, Naruto started explaining in a mature voice, while Sasuke locked his gaze to the mother and daughter that were becoming smaller and smaller as they walked away. "It's not a secret anymore, the real history of your clan. It's well known by everyone by now. The kids are taught in school about the discrimination and segregation done to the Uchiha, and uncovering the whole truth. The lies that were passed down for generations. The decisions that Itachi was..." Yo, you want to hear something that'll fuck up your mind? Literally, this is 100% facts. The KKK stole their fucking look and name. That was, I think, a African, like, it was something from Africa. They deadass stole that from Africa. Not even joking, you can look it up. They're not even original in their hate. They can't even form an original thought to hate. They literally steal shit, everything from the people they hate. You see how this shit works? It's crazy. That was crazy. There's a whole thing. I wanted to download the video, but fucking Instagram mutes the audio for some reason. But if I can find it again, I will. But no, it was really good. It was really good. Really good. Really good. Really good. Really good. But where are we? It was hard to make them understand at first, but let me restart it. It's not a secret anymore. The real history of your clan is well known by now. The kids are taught about it in school, about discrimination and segregation done to the Uchiha. uncovering the whole truth, the lies that were passed down for generations, the decisions that Itachi was manipulated to make. People could finally have a change of heart. It was hard to make them understand at first, but a majority of the population changed their views by now. Sasuke didn't fully listen to Naruto's words. He felt dizzy and asked as he was trying to process his shock. They know he's not a villain? He was formally pardoned for 7 months now. I'm sorry for not warning you, but people might feel the need to apologize to you. I hope you'd be okay with that. Sasuke only focuses on the fact that Itachi's name was cleared, still unable to hear all of Naruto's words. Naruto guessed he wasn't listening, so he stopped talking. His eyes were still on the road, and even if the mother and daughter were far gone by now, Sasuke's bottom lip was trembling as his eyes were getting filled with tears. He could only whisper, "Brother?" And then Naruto immediately caught him in his arms, expecting him to break down. Sasuke accepted the embrace without a single thought, allowing himself to cry on Naruto's shoulder, letting himself accept that he kept on desiring recognition for his brother by the village, even if he never expected that to happen. After a while, Naruto said with a genuine care in his voice, genuine as a bitch, "If you want, we can go back home, and I'll order some Chinese food." Sasuke whispered, sorry, what? Sasuke wiped his tears with the heaviness of his emotions slowly lifted. "Oh, it's okay. It's okay. We can move towards the ramen shop." "Are you sure? I don't want you to push yourself. People might still come to you in the way they are." "What? Are you sure? People still might push. Are you sure? I don't want you to push yourself. People might still come to you on the way there." "I'm sure." Naruto could feel the relief in Sasuke's voice, so he trusted his words. To make the atmosphere lighter, Naruto rambled the whole time about how he's rebuilding the village and took place and explaining to Sasuke with lots of details as they passed by each reconstructed building. Sasuke knew what he was doing, and it worked. The atmosphere was indeed lighter, and he could, actually focus on one of those stories. As Naruto stopped by a small store that was currently closed and reenacted the whole process of rebuilding it, mimicking how two construction workers fought because they understood things differently, convincingly playing each character. So let me tell you something. It was like this, right? So one construction worker, his name is Joe. Joe is an older guy. Joe is like we're going to say like 55, 56, something like that. Bit of an older guy, but he can still get shit done. Then we got Caleb. Caleb is young. Caleb is like fucking 26. He's a young guy, right? My age. And Caleb was like, "Hey, boss said we got to move the shingles from this roof. We got to take it off of this roof and load it back up in the truck." And then old man is like, hold on, buddy. I know what the fuck to do. I've been doing roofing since you were born. I've been roofing all my life, like all your life. Stop playing with me. I know what to do. I know what I'm doing. I know the boss didn't say that because that's not how that works. So they get into it. They're starting out. He's putting a nail in the thing. He's putting the tar down. He's putting the shingle on top. He's nailing it down, making sure things look nice and crispy and making sure it look nice. They put the paper down. They put the black paper roll, right? Keeps the everything in place. He's like, "Nah, I know what I'm doing. The boss told me this." So then they get into it. They almost start boxing. They almost start, he started putting his hands up a little bit, and then Ronnie's a good guy. He doesn't want no trouble. He's a bit older. He's in his 30s. He's not as old, but he's older. So he comes in between. He's like, hey, come on, guys. Come on. We don't got to do all that. Come on, guys, chill out. We don't got to do all this. This does not need to happen. And he's like, all right, Ronnie, all right, man, but this guy's really talking crazy to me. You got to tell this young kid to go sit down somewhere, all right? Because I'm not dealing with this bullshit. So Ronnie goes and sits him down somewhere. Caleb is all mad. He's young. He's inexperienced. He's ready to fight. He's ready. He's a hothead. He has daddy issues too. So he looks at Joe as sort of a father, not a father figure, but he kind of reminds him of his dad. His dad was a real hard ass on him. So then they get into it. That's why he's easy to fight and he's easy for confrontation with older guys, because he's really just exploding on his father every time. But then Joe knows that. Joe's been around the block or two. He knows when a kid is troubled. So then he goes to him the next day and he says, hey man, listen, I understand that we got some problems, but I just want to share a lunch with you. And he gave him a sandwich. He gave him half of his sandwich, which is a lot. Joe doesn't share his food with anyone. So Joe gives him half his sandwich and they talk about it. You know, it's like, what's going on? What's going on? Because you seem to be a little bit more angry at me than was needed. Like, we brought that to a 10. It was a 5 at max. We brought it to a 10. What's going on here? You know, Caleb was talking to him. He said, you know what? I don't know what happened. He doesn't understand his feelings yet. He's a young guy. I don't know what happened. You know, that's my fault. I got some stuff going on. He said, is everything going on good at home? And he's like, no, not everything's going good at home. He's like, well, tell me about it. What's going on? So then they talk about it. You know, they break it down. They chop it up for a couple days. Next thing you know, 2 weeks later, they're best friends on the roof. You know, if Joe's like, hey, get this, Caleb's right there grabbing it. You know what I mean? Bringing the tar up the ladder. You know how heavy that shit is? Very fucking heavy. He's bringing the tar up the ladder. He's bringing the roll of paper up the ladder. You know how heavy that shit is? Fucking heavy. You know, they're doing everything, bringing the shingles up. You know how heavy shingles, everything to do with roofing is heavy. Roofing is probably one of the worst jobs to do. Everything is fucking heavy, but he's bringing it up, you know, he's helping him out. They get a cool little friendship going, you know? And then Joe was sadly killed. Joe fell off the roof. Yeah, Joe fell off the roof. It was terrible. He did not make it past his injuries. His spine was severed and there's just nothing they could do. So unfortunately, he had to go. Caleb hasn't said much since those days. That was 2 years ago. Caleb hasn't said much. Doesn't say much to anyone anymore. We hope he's doing good. But anyway, after finishing their meal, Sasuke told Naruto that he wants to visit Sakura, so they headed to the hospital. Their walk was delayed because every person at every goddamn corner was like, hey, let me talk to you. Let me talk to you. He was slowly getting used to this treatment. And could even verbally accept those apologies. He could tell that people were sincere, by the way. They were talking to him. Each person had their own way of expressing regret, recovering as much as they could understand from such a complex situation. And that made him feel truly welcomed. And when they arrived at the hospital, they were asked to wait for Sakura outside her research laboratory in a private waiting room. After almost an hour, she finally opened the door. And she kept talking to Shizune and Hinata. Without noticing the boys, Shizune was carrying a heavy file in her arms and listening attentively to Sakura's instructions. Let him rest now, but we'll try the other formula tomorrow. Neji's body is weakened because of the last test. After the war, it was decided to reevaluate the structures of power inside the village. Hyuga was one of the first clans to go through this process. Sakura and Hinata dedicated their time to finding a formula that could permanently remove the curse mark, while keeping the person alive. Hinata noticed so Neji's alive, by the way, obviously. Hinata noticed the boys first. Sasuke? She wasn't surprised to see Naruto there. He would often come to see how the research is going and to spend time with Neji, because he had to stay locked inside that room for hours at a time. Neji didn't have much time to feel lonely when Naruto wasn't there. Hinata, Tenten, and Lee and Guy, and sometimes even Kakashi would be there. When Sakura heard Sasuke's name, she finally noticed them. I'm so glad to see you two. She embraced the both of them, unaware that she used too much force, and then they started complaining. Oh, sorry for that. She smiled and turned her attention to Sasuke. Welcome back, Sasuke. It's good to see you here. Did Ahito and his father arrive safely? And why do you make me read this word? Wasira Nagusa. Thank you, Sakura. Yes, they did. It's good to see you too. He spoke with the most natural attitude he ever had towards her. In the past few months, they would send messages back and forth and talk about Ahito and his father. And after she expressed her crush on him was over, they could finally bond and create a genuine friendship. I came here to thank you for what you did for Ahito and his father. The people of Wasira Nagisa. Nope, that's not it. Wasira Nagusa. are really thankful and they wanted to send you a gift. He handed her a scroll and she was curious to open it. The kids in Ahito's class made it for you. The scroll was full of drawings and made up stories about the pink-haired magician doctor that was helping their teacher. They asked Sasuke for details about her so they could really capture her essence. Sakura was visibly filled with joy and gratitude, and she hugged Sasuke. That didn't bother him. They spent a bit of time chatting, and then Sakura said she had to go back to work. Sasuke and Naruto headed to the Hokage's office. Before entering Kakashi's office, they met Shikamaru on the hallway, and he wasn't surprised to see Sasuke there, and started talking to him. "You're back, huh?" Sasuke expecting a cynical attitude from him, but that wasn't the case. "Look, you were never my favorite guy, but I'm really sorry for everything you went through. I was complaining as a kid for the stupidest shit without knowing about how serious your struggles were. You're still not my favorite, but I see you on different eyes now. See you with different eyes now." "Thanks, I guess," Sasuke replied, seemingly unbothered. Then him and Naruto entered Kakashi's office. When Kakashi saw Sasuke walk in, he got a bit nervous, and he tried to make up for his mistakes by regarding Sasuke's trauma and honor the name of his clan by declassifying Itachi's mission and educate the people on the history of the Uchiha, addressing the internal issues of the village, but he had no idea how Sasuke would have taken the resolve. He couldn't say a word, but Sasuke started talking first. "So this was the idea of changing the village for when I come back, huh, Kakashi-sensei?" "Sensei?" Kakashi was relieved, but still had some nervousness in his tone. "I'm sorry that I didn't tell you beforehand, but I thought it needed to be done. You had a correct judgment for once. Anyways, thank you. It was the least I could do after everything." Kakashi wanted to express more, but something stopped him. "There will always be more changes in the village, and now that you're back, I would love to have you as an advisor as well, if you'd want that." Sure, I'll think about it." "Good. While you two are here, I have to ask you something. Now, you know that many kids after the war got destroyed and killed, many families of those kids got destroyed. And, Sakura is very involved in managing the new orphanage, but I like to keep her focus on more of the hospital shit. And Naruto, you're also doing great. You're also doing a great job there. So, are the others that spend so much time and energy and efforts into making it a good support for the kids. And, however, I've been thinking lately of an alternative, and I'll be open with you two, because we share this experience. I know that the orphanage is important, but I would love for those kids to get a chance to be raised by a family. The fatality rate has also increased after the war, so young couples already have a child to raise, but not all couples can have kids, neither biologically or legally, so here's my question. Instead of growing up alone, would you have preferred to have been raised by, let's say, 2 fathers? Well, I always felt like I was raised by 2 fathers. Huh? Naruto raised an eyebrow, waiting for an explanation. Inuruka-sensei. Oh, here goes T and her goddamn love for this. She loves this shit. She gonna put it in there some way. Inuruka-sensei. Naruto continued with the same tone as Kakashi began to blushing under his mask. Me and Rika? How? As an observer of this misunderstanding and noticing Kakashi's embarrassment, Sasuke cleared the air. Naruto wanted to say that both you and Iruka are father figures for him, and not that you and Iruka were together as a couple. Sasuke guessed the reason of Kakashi's shyness regarding this topic, so he took the chance to put him in a vulnerable position, just as innocent revenge for the past. This made Kakashi blush even more, and his mask couldn't hide it at all. Kakashi-sensei. What? Kakashi-sensei. Don't tell me. Naruto's finally getting it. You're one of those? Hearing the judgmental tone in Naruto, you're one of those? Hearing the judgmental tone in Naruto's voice, Kakashi regained his courage to speak. One of those what, Naruto? Sorry. One of those what, Naruto? He fixed him with his eyes, then looked at Sasuke, then back at him. I didn't mean it that way. Naruto scratched back of his head while blushing in shame that he could be judgmental like that. Sasuke caught Kakashi's illusion. When he passed his gaze, his gaze between Naruto and him, and asked, "So you know?" "I always knew, I just didn't know if you two were aware." And judging by Naruto's reaction, he still might be unaware. He's not unaware. Sasuke replied before giving Naruto a chance to talk. "Then Naruto, you'll have to address that internalized homophobia of yours." Ooh. This is not a word Kakashi would ever use. I'm gonna be so real. He would not say that shit. But for the sake of this, I do like it. Because it's like basically the author coming in being like, you know, this is what you're actually going through type shit. But would Kakashi as a character say that? Probably not. I don't even think he knew what that was. Kakashi acted like a father scolding his son. Then Naruto started talking with noticeable shame in his voice. "I just never thought about it that way, you know? Growing up, I learned from others that being gay is a bad thing, and I was already getting enough rejection from everyone. I'm not ashamed of that. I'm ashamed that I never took the time to understand it. And I thought that my bond with Sasuke didn't have a name, but probably I was just avoiding it for the fear of rejection. I'm not ashamed, not one bit, for my feelings towards Sasuke. This is the realest thing I've ever felt, and now I understand that it's not only our experience. Everyone feels love with this intensity. I'm sorry for being so dumb." He looked at Sasuke while saying the last phrase, thinking that he might have felt rejection by his initial reaction, but Sasuke trusted him enough to understand that he was just confused. "Well, don't worry." Kakashi started talking again, with a more relaxed tone. "It's pretty common to experience this type of feeling when you find something about yourself that people perceive as bad, but I'm planning to change that. What do you think?" "I fully support that," he said confidently, "and I'll help you do whatever you need. Count me in." Count me in. Count me in. "The elders would never approve," Sasuke added. "The elders have no say in this, or really any other matter. After declassifying the file of Itachi's..." This is such a, like, fic. Because everything is, like, being fixed the way it's supposed to be. I love this. It's a good fix-it. After declassifying files of Itachi's mission, we found that they did more harm than good with their advice. And it was clear that they didn't always have the best interest of everyone in the village. They got special retirement homes for that, and one that separates them from society, and they kept on... From the society, they kept on poisoning, separated by cold bars. Lady Tsunade is the one who's been saying in the decisions that I make, and she fully supports this initiative. All right! Naruto's hype spirit was back, ready for a new fight, and this is tone shifted to childish teasing. "But Kakashi-sensei, you didn't tell me you and Iruka-sensei are..." "Enough for today," so Kakashi replied with a frustrated smile as he walked them toward the door. "Welcome home, Sasuke. Bye, Naruto, and see you too soon." As they walked back home, they made fun of Kakashi's shyness, and they were making false scenarios about him and Iruka. They, meaning just Naruto, because Sasuke would only laugh approvingly to his ideas. At some point, Sasuke interrupted Naruto's narration and asked him, "Do you think he'll ever be able to convince people to accept us?" "I'm sure he will, but we'll have to do our part." He took Sasuke by the hand, still being outside on the street. "Are you comfortable with this? There are people around, and this could still damage your image of being the next Hokage. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Everyone saw me chasing after you for years. They probably already know that I was too dense to understand myself." Where am I? "Too dense to understand myself. And if they judged us, why would I want to become Hokage? If that means I'm giving up on happiness. After all, without our bond, the world would be gone by now. So it's time for everyone to understand that it was love that saved their lives." They stopped walking. Sasuke, with the softest look in his eyes, kissed Naruto right in the middle of the street, right in town square. I told you we would find a way for us in this lifetime. I promised." Naruto said, full of pride. "I never doubted you." Sasuke replied, and Naruto kissed him back. "Wait, does this mean we're boyfriends?" Naruto asked with a curious and innocent voice. "Yes, dumbass." We're boyfriends. Sasuke laughed and they squeezed their hands hard as they walked together home. Ah. Here we are. This is the end. We did it, y'all. Notes. I might write an epilogue to this, like the new update from the future. Shy note for Isaiah. Ah, damn it. Here we go. You know what? We're just gonna play my original reaction to that. Now, boyfriends. Sasuke laughed and they squeezed their hand harder as they walked home together. I might write an epilogue. Oh shit! Hold on. Huh? Hold on. Side note for Isaiah. Oh. Say sorry for giving me that voice wrong. Damn it! Okay, fair. Huh? Okay, I see it. I know when I've been beat. Say sorry for giving me that voice or I won't write. I'm not. Damn it! That's one way of doing it. Y'all, this has been chapter 5 of TSN's I Promise. Now you can check out this. You can read this entire thing, like top to bottom, or you can also read her other work, The Communist Manifesto. She worked really hard on that one. It's a bit of an older piece, but it's about the same length. I think you'll really enjoy it. If you guys like this, like, share, comment, subscribe. It's me, Catfish, and I'm back, and I'm gonna try to do more videos. There's another fic that I've been recommended by the author. That'll probably be the next one. Shout out to them when I post. It's a secret right now. But make sure you support. Hey, read this fic, man. Read this fic. This fic is awesome. You motherfucker, don't make me decide between comedy and art. Damn, she helped my stupid ass. Listen, I'm gonna go for the meme every time. You'll never stop me. I was about to say your motherfucking government. You'll never stop me. I thrive in the land of jokes. Comedy. It's a world you've never been to. Alright, y'all. Read this goddamn chapter. Peace.